Okay, in this video we're going to learn how to estimate square roots without a calculator. So in this next two worksheets we're going to do, your calculators, you're not going to be able to use them. Okay, so I'm going to pick out a square root. I'm going to use the square root of 75. And to set this problem up, the first thing you have to do, maybe if you have a times table chart or something you can look at, hopefully you know your times tables. The first perfect square before I hit the square root of 75 is the square root of 64. And then the one just after 75 is the square root of 81. So basically what I'm doing here is kind of setting up a number line. The top side will be the square roots. The bottom side right here will be the numbers on the number line. So it looks like 8 times 8 is 64. So the square root of 64 is 8. And then over here we have a 9 because the square root of 81 is a 9. So we're going to be setting up our number line. That's what we got to do first. And now these next steps you're going to be very, very familiar with. We have to find a numerator. To find the numerator, I'm going to take this middle one, subtract the first one. So we're going to be taking insides. So I'm going to take 75 minus 64. That gives me an 11. So this is to find the numerator. And we're just doing the insides of the square roots, right? Okay, so now next we have to find the denominator. So we're going to look at the number line side. Okay, so we have 8 plus 9. That equals 17. So the denominator comes from the number line. So this is the square root side, this is the number line side. So somewhere in between, I don't know exactly where, but I know it's got to be between these two. It starts at 8. So wherever this piece here lies, the square root of 75, it's got to be a fraction piece. This is what this gives me. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to write our fraction. The fraction piece. So that fraction piece is just simply 11 divided by 17. And now I'm going to add on the 8. So over here in your notes, right, don't forget you need to make sure that you don't forget this. So that's the entire fraction. Now, it's really hard to put 11/17 on a number line. 8.5 would be in the middle. 8.5 over 17 would be right in the middle. So this is just maybe a little bit over half between 8 and 9. But we're going to find exactly the decimal for this. So we're going to take the fraction piece and we're going to change that to a decimal. And all we need is 2 places. Okay, we don't need any more than that. Okay, we're going to do the long division here. And I'm going to teach us a little bit differently to help some of you people out that had difficulties with this last time. 17 is being divided into 11. So the idea is this. I'm going to just pick out some numbers. Let's say I'm going to start at 4 times 17. 5 times 17, 6 times 17. You go, I don't know my 17 times tables. Well, I know that, but you do know this. 10 times 17 times 4. That is 40. That is 28. I know you know your 10s and 7s. So the total number there, it has to be 68. So this is mental math that you guys can do to do this. I'm going to do 5. That's 50, because 5 times 10 is 50, plus 35. That will give me 85 for that one. I hope I'm not going too fast. And then the last one will be 102. Okay, so you can maybe do 4 or 5 of these, maybe depending on the number is. Just check, pick 3 of them. And if you're a little bit short, you can add one here on the end. But this will help you with your division a lot. So I would go through this little exercise at the beginning. Okay, 17 will not divide 11, but it will divide 110, and I can see it'll go 6 times. 6 times 17 is 102. Now, just like before, we subtract it for a remainder. Our remainder is 8. I add a 0 because 17 won't divide 8, but it will 80. That will give me another decimal place. 5 is too big, 85, right? 5 is too big, so 4 is just right. And 4 times 17 I've got over there, that's 68. Subtract it, and I get a 12. Now remember, all I said is I just needed to go to 2 decimal places. So this fraction right here, this decimal, take this fraction, change it to a decimal. 8 and 11/17 is approximately 8.64. Okay, now the real square root of 75, you ready for this? I'm going to do it in my calculator and see what we get here. Hold on just a second. Let me grab my calculator. So the real square root of 75. So square root of 75 is approximately 8.66. So this is great answer. We do this part so we can put it on the number line. So wherever 8.64, if that's 8.5, square root of 75 would be this side of it. There's where the square root of 75 here. That's where the square root of 75 would be. Okay, so that is the video on estimating square roots with calculators. If you learned how to do the long division on the last assignment that we did, this is going to be great for you. So thanks for watching, and make sure you do your video discussion. Thank you. Bye-bye.